Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Steph, also known as the Freckled One. I have missed you all so much. I will be updating you on what's been going on in my life. One of the major things is wedding planning, which has been quite an experience. But today I wanted to get ready with you for a date that I'm going on later with my fiance. We're gonna be going to a kind of pumpkin patch thing that honestly Instagram advertised to me. It's this event in LA and Instagram knows what I like. I did put on this kind of brown jumper. I'm trying to get into fall Halloween vibes and I hope that you enjoy this video. So if you like this look that I've put together, then keep on watching. All right, so I have already cleansed my skin. We're dealing with a blank canvas. First, I'm gonna use the Mario Badescu facial spray. This is the lavender one that's calming. I love this, especially right now. My skin is so dry, so adding this extra layer of moisture back to my skin just really soothes this dry, crackly skin right now. Next, I'm gonna use two products to prime my skin. The first is the Osea Seabiotic water cream. I've been using this for a few weeks now and it is so delectable and light and hydrating. So I'm gonna mix this with a pump of the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. I've been loving mixing this into my moisturizer. I'm almost done with this little size, but I think it just leaves a really radiant, illuminated base so that products on top don't fully hide the illumination, but it kind of peeks through since all of the products that I use are pretty sheer. So I'm just gonna take that much water cream and put one little pump into my hand, mix the two together in my palm, and just spread this all over my skin. It's so pretty. All right, so for my foundation, I'm gonna use the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. This is in the shade Natural 05. I've been experimenting with this. I was intrigued because it's not a new product, but I know that it's kind of made a comeback a little bit. And I've liked the couple of times that I've used this and I'm hoping that I like it again today. So I'm just gonna put the tiniest little fart on the back of my hand. I like this, it is very lightweight. I don't like using my fingers to blend in makeup, but with this it seems a little bit more tolerable for me. I'm gonna take my Patrick Juno & Co. sponge. This is damp and just kind of go over everything I did to make sure that there's an even blend. And so you can see that that illuminating primer still, you can see it. You can see it. All right, next I'm gonna use my RMS Beauty Uncover Up Concealer. This is in the shade 22.5. I've been loving this because it has a really emollient texture and like I said, I've just been so dry. And I do like putting this on with my fingers. So I just gently pat this in. Before I set my face, I do wanna use a couple more cream products. The first is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick in the shade Light Medium. I've used this every single time I've done my makeup. I think the tone is absolutely perfect for my skin tone. The product is really easy to work with. If you're someone that's new to contouring, I highly recommend this product. It is really convenient. It comes with this twist up stick and then it also has a brush that honestly isn't terrible to use. It's just a little hard to get it back in the cap, but love this thing. And that's pretty much all I do. I'm just gonna blend it out using this Colourpop F4 brush. I can totally use that travel brush that's attached, but when I'm at home, I try and use other brushes so that that one stays as clean as possible unless I'm like actually traveling and don't have a brush to blend it out. But I just press and brush back, never down, never ever bringing it down. But do you see how it's already sculpted my cheek and is like brought it back to life because I was so flat with my foundation and concealer. Because it's a Halloween night, I'm going to use an orange toned blush. This is Golden Hour from Tower 28. I'm gonna take this on my Spectrum Katie Jane Hughes 02 brush, pat the excess on the back of my hand, I think this is such a pretty color and works for a lot of skin tones. I just tapped out my concealer to make sure that there's no creasing. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade 2 Medium. Taking this on my Deathly Hallows fluffy brush from the Ulta Harry Potter collection. Here's what I'm looking like right now. So as you can see, I worked in really light layers, like almost all of the contouring and blush that I did looks like it's not there anymore. But as the night goes on, all of that's gonna start to peek through. I'm gonna use the O2 Medium Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder from Glowish. I have been loving this powder. It just is so subtle and beautiful. I'm gonna use my Katie Jane Hughes 01 brush and just start lightly blending that over where I contoured and put blush. If you haven't tried these Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum collection brushes, they are certainly an investment. I'm not gonna even pretend like they're not. They're just some of the most incredible brushes that I've ever used, and I think will last a very, very long time. And if you don't know who Katie Jane Hughes is, she is an inspiring professional makeup artist out of New York, and she is just incredible. For blush, I'm going to use the Vieve Sunset Blush in the shade Pesca. It is a beautiful kind of micro shimmery orange tone. Again, taking it on my Katie Jane Hughes 04 brush. I forgot to do highlighter, which I've been trying to remember to apply before my blush, just because I think it melts everything a little bit better together, but that's okay. For some highlight, I'm gonna use the Makeup by Mario Soft Glow Highlighter in the shade Pearl. This is a fantastic product. If you don't own a highlighter and you're interested in trying one out, I also think this one is really beautiful and fairly sheer. When I swatch it, it's going to be fairly intense, but when you blend it out, it just leaves this kind of wet looking highlight. It's just gorgeous. I'm gonna use this Real Techniques setting brush for it. All right, to set my face, I haven't used this in such a long time and I forgot how much I do love this, but it's the Dominique Causemetics Jadey Wadey 180. It feels silly saying that. Collaboration setting spray. I don't know if this is still available, but I do want to use it since I have it and it's only good for 12 months. The mister on this is so fine. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's hard because I'm looking at my viewfinder and I think you can see it, but in real life, that illuminator that I was telling you about, the Rare Beauty primer, because I just re-wet my skin and I've obviously dried it down with my fan, that luminosity that kind of went away with my Charlotte Tilbury powder is kind of reinvigorated and reactivated, and so this was the effect that I was going for and it worked. I actually really love how this base turned out. Okay, I just realized that we have to leave pretty soon. Noah is going to be trying on a tux for our wedding. The clock is ticking and I've taken way too long to do this base. So I'm going to relatively quickly go through the eyeshadow and get it done. So first I'm going to use my Colourpop Yes Please shadow palette. I've had this for like 4 years. I'm pretty sure they still sell it. It just has a lot of good autumnal tones. I think to start, I'm gonna go in with Champs. Just went in with a really fluffy brush. Next, I'm gonna use GNO. What is GNO? Do you know what that is? It reminds me of Gyno. I don't even want to use that shade. That's the wrong shade. I want to use Note to Self, which is more cool toned. If you know what GNO stands for, leave it down in the comments because maybe, I don't know. I don't know what that is, but it has something to do with, it's something that you want. Gyno appointments are really important, but that can't be what it is, right? So again, using the shade Note to Self to just add a little bit more dimension to this outer V. And I guess I do want to eventually go into Gyno. By the way, I know that I said that I had this palette for 5 years, and that is true. You aren't supposed to have makeup for this long. I'm keeping it because it was pretty gently used, and I used the same shades over and over, and I don't think I'm actually even using any of those shades. And I was the only person that had used this palette. I just want to make sure you know that I'm not encouraging you to use expired makeup. All right, the last shade I'm gonna use is Big Cocktails, which is very, very orange and beautiful. All right, I'm feeling really adventurous right now. I'm gonna use this yellow shade, Mischief. I'm barely taking any of this and just putting it all over my lids. My eyes kind of look like candy corns. All right, now to finish it off, I'm gonna use Chauffeur, which is this beautiful shimmery orange. I'm just gonna pat this on with my finger into the kind of last 2/3. The very last thing, I'm gonna take Butter Cake, which is a orange shifty gold. Take that on this tiny little brush and put that in my inner corners. Oh yeah. And kind of bring it up. There we go, a little more drama. All right, I'm gonna curl my lashes and do my liner off camera because it's really hard with the way that my camera is set up in my bathroom right now, so I will be right back. All right, I am back. I put on liner, curled my lashes, and put on my Thrive Causemetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara in the shade Brynn Black. If you are new to my channel, I use this constantly in almost every video. This is one of my absolute favorite mascaras of all time. For my brows, unfortunately, my brow pencil broke and there's no more product in it, so I'm gonna use this Saie Brow Butter in Deep Brown. It has these kind of interesting microfibers to make your brows look more full. I'm gonna go change into my top so that I can pick a lip color, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I have this jumper on. I'll show you later and maybe some pictures that we take on our date. But I'm gonna use this NYX Nude Truffle lip liner, and I'm just going to lightly line my lips, soften it all up. This is the Rare Beauty Matte Lip Cream in Fearless. I just think this can be a really beautiful fall color with what I'm wearing. And I think that looks really nice, actually. Cute, so cute. And the final touches, as always, my freckle pen. Add that dimension back to my freckles, especially the ones I covered up. And that pretty much finishes up this makeup look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I feel like I'm very fall vibes right now. I would have washed my hair if I had time, but I did not. But here is the final look. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and are also equally excited about these fall vibes. If you aren't already subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you want to know every single time that I post, then hit that notification bell right next to it. Until next time, take care, be safe, and be kind. Bye.
Ryan Little.